Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sherman Nelson. I am the Minister of Information for USA Taekwondo. I will be your host for this 2019 Junior Grand Slam brought to you by Sight and Sound Technologies. I'm joined in the booth by my partner in crime, Jason Poos, and we are ready to get it started. Y'all ready to get it started? Yeah, all right. So this is session one. This is session one of our Junior Grand Slam, and this first division is men's plus 78. These are our heavyweights. So before I call out the first match, I ask that everyone would please rise, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. All right. All right, at some point, I'm going to coordinate myself with the referees and face the same direction they're facing, because I thought we were supposed to face this way, and apparently I was in error. All right, so let's get to it, the men's plus 78 kilogram division. In blue, from the great state of New York, Felix Hernandez. And in red, from South Carolina, Joseph Dunk. All right, y'all, let's chop it up.
You heard it. Sherman, great job. Welcome, Jason Poos. This is Chopping It Up, the Junior Grand Slam edition, brought to you by Sight and Sound Technologies. You heard the players. We've got them for you right here, right now. We've got Felix Hernandez and Joseph Dunk. We'll give you the highlights and kind of the play-by-play of these gentlemen, if you will. And, of course, we're going to give you good action. Great cameras here by our camera staff. Wiggins is on it as usual. Good. Great to be back. Wasn't able to attend the Cadet Grand Slam, but so Sherman was doing triple duty, so what a great job he did there. We're so glad to have you guys with us here at USA Taekwondo at the National Center of Excellence, so we're going to have some great action here. I find it kind of refreshing starting with the heavyweights because typically those guys end up kind of going last in the sport. That's kind of how it works, and not this time. We've got them going first, so kind of a little different setup and something that I'm kind of looking forward to that we haven't done it a ton.
Yeah, they're usually on the last day, and everybody's kind of wiped out by that day. But
sure,
they get to set the tone, and already Mr. Dunk has already got
he's on
right
the
leg
board.
over the shoulder.
So I'm going to give you a little he's going to go by Joe Dunk instead of Joseph is what he's let us know. He's 5'11". Looks like he says he's 5'11", but that might be 5 foot.
Well, he's a big joker, though.
Yeah, he looks 5'11". Yeah. He's 220. He's out of Blythewood Taekwondo, and his coach is Audrey Crawford. Good action here right off the bat. I love this. Oh, nice back kick. Beautiful back kick by Dunk. I beg your pardon, by Hernandez.
You already know that there shall be some basketball references made with a name like Dunk. I'm
Possibly.
going to, yeah,
Possibly.
I guarantee you that there will be.
Yeah, talking about our players right now, we've got Felix Hernandez, and he's in the blue, and he's 5'10". He's 79 kilograms. He's from United Taekwondo, and his coach is Fabio Rodriguez. He's 16 years of age, and his hometown is Sunset Park. That's Brooklyn, New York.
Is Brooklyn in the house?
Still 3-0. Joseph Dunk over Felix Hernandez. We're in the first round. Folks, this is the quarterfinal action of the Junior Grand Slam. So this is a plus 78 kilograms category like we talked about. This is a quarterfinal action between Felix Hernandez of New York and Joseph Joe Dunk from South Carolina. And that's the end of the first round. He will cling to his 3-0 lead. Hernandez a little cautious there at the first round. I get it. I totally understand that. So let's talk a little bit about Felix Hernandez. I told you he's from Sunset Park, Brooklyn, so New York. He's a senior in high school, and his favorite food is Hispanic food. He's a top 4 in the junior heavyweight here in the U.S. He competed in the senior Grand Slam as well. So that's when you know you're doing something well. He's not just doing the junior Grand Slam, but he's old enough and ranked high enough in the senior to compete in that as well. He loves running, listening to music, and sleeping. I like this guy already.
He's a sleeper.
But
Don't sleep on him.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
We'll give you we'll talk a little bit about, that's Hernandez. We'll talk a little bit about Joe Dunk, because I'm sure he can shoot the 3 as well.
Oh, and you started off.
I did.
He's back.
Good. Nice inside action there. Hernandez trying to hit that right leg inside. He hasn't been able to hit it yet. That's a nice front leg. The cover's been too good so far from Joseph Dunk at this point. Oh, beautiful off the line roundhouse kick there. Doesn't score, but definitely that got his attention.
Right. And it made clean contact because the light went up.
Sure.
But it wasn't probably not flat enough to score. And it sounded good. It sounded hollow, but that doesn't always mean a score.
Yeah, Hernandez with his first point of the game on a deduction for Joseph Dunk going out of bounds, but it was good pressure by Felix Hernandez. A good punch there by Hernandez as well, and does get the point. So he's taking it now to 3-2. So he's climbing his way right back into this match. He wasn't down too much that's just one head kick, but all of a sudden 3-2, we got ourselves a really tight match. (4-2) now as a deduction for Felix Hernandez. So that means Joe Dunk will basically get a point for him, an infraction. If you're familiar with the sport, you guys know how that works. The points will go up for the other player if you give yourself a deduction for an infraction of some point. Oh, nice follow inside. Doesn't get the point there, but a good follow. Joseph Dunk follows nicely, goes with the front leg, roundhouse kick with the left, follows inside with the right. Both these guys fast with their front legs, and they've both been really nice, tight covers inside. And that's the end of the second round. So we've got a 4-2 lead. So Joseph Dunk holding on to a 4-2 lead over Felix Hernandez. Joseph Dunk's 5'11", we said 220. He's out of his hometown is New Brunswick, New Jersey, but he currently lives in Blythewood, South Carolina. He goes to Westwood High School. He's in 9th grade, and his favorite food is Korean food. I'll go eat Korean food with you anytime, Joe. I love Korean food. He loves kimchi, he says. He was an All-American 2018 cadet heavyweight in the heavyweight division, and he was on the AAU team that went to Mexico in 2018-2019. He instructs at his Taekwondo school, and he coaches the younger students at tournaments, which is awesome. Good third round here in the quarterfinals. Winner is going to move on to take on the number 1 seed, Brian Lee. So we'll have action here. The winner here will take on, again, a national team member that we'll talk about, a junior national team member in Brian Lee. And we'll talk about him a little bit later. interesting enough, he enjoys boxing. Joe Dunk enjoys boxing, so I'm surprised we haven't seen more punches coming out of him with kind of that boxing background. He says he enjoys skateboarding and working and making money. I enjoy working and making money as well. So 30 seconds left here in the third round of the quarterfinal action. Joseph Dunk in red over Felix Hernandez in blue. He just has 2. He's going to have to get busy. Both players just have 1 deduction, and both are getting touches now. So some lights are coming up, and they're showing that they're hitting the Hogu. They're just not hitting with enough power. Good, nice try there. Oh, and Hernandez gets the head kick. Impressive. It looked like it was covered, but just enough scraping of the head to score that. So he's taking a 1-point lead with just 10 seconds left. So Joseph Dunk's in a little bit of trouble now. He's been kind of handling this match to this point, but he's going to have to get busy. And a good punch. And a punch comes up by Hernandez. So he'll take it to 6-4. Okay, so it's a 1-point lead because of the deduction. You got just 3 seconds left and a punch there. He takes it to a 2-point lead and a body shot, and he wins. Felix Hernandez with an impressive comeback in the last 25 seconds to take a 7-5 win over Joseph Dunk. So Felix Hernandez will move on to the semifinals, where I said he would take on Brian Lee, and he will do that. So congratulations to Felix Hernandez. Joseph Dunk, really led the match the entire time, so he's probably going to go back kicking himself. He left us with he wants to be part of the U.S. Army Taekwondo team, and that anyone who wants to kind of represent their country, not just for the sport, but represent our military, that I got a shout out to that for sure, our military and what they do for us here in the United States. So congratulations, Joseph Dunk. Great tournament. Tough loss there at the bell, if you will, but Felix Hernandez moving on. Congratulations to him, and he will go back and do one of the things he likes to do, like running or listening to music, or probably a little sleeping before his next match. We have a second quarterfinal coming here shortly. Sherman will introduce those players to you. Don't forget, we're going to be here today, all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. So we want you logged on here with us at USA Taekwondo, watching the best juniors we have in our country here at USA Taekwondo. We're at the National Center of Excellence. This is the Junior Grand Slam presented by Sight and Sound Technology. And we want you to know that we're glad you're with us. So keep giving us some feedback. We love those comments. We love those questions. And hit us up on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Find us and let us know what you think.
Coming to you next in blue from Florida, Aldo Dominguez. And in red, from California, Nicholas Carlo.
The players are in. Sherman's got the players in. Now we're going to get you a little bit of history on these guys. And this is our second quarterfinal in the plus 78 kilogram category. In the blue, we have Aldo Dominguez, the second. He's 5'10", 175 pounds. He's out of World Championship Taekwondo. And his coach is Toby and Nikki Oliver. Know Toby very well. Shout out to Toby and Nikki, great people. He's 16 years of age. His hometown is Fort Myers, Florida. He currently lives in Fort Myers, and he loves sushi. On the other side, we have Nicholas Carlo. He's in the red. He's 6'2", 225. Good sized athlete here. He's out of California. And his coach is Master Hyun Lee and Joseph Lee. We know Hyun as he was a competitor when we competed, so we're already to action here. He's from Rancho Santa Fe, California, and his high school he attends is Torrey Pines High School. He likes steak. His favorite food is steak. Getting the gear all set up. Good. Nicholas Carlo placed third at the 2019 U.S. National Championships. He's also a third-degree black belt and has been competing since he was 6 years of age. He's been doing this for a long time. He enjoys playing. When he's not doing taekwondo, he enjoys playing soccer, spending time with friends, and he's going to the beach. He lives by the beach. I'd be going to the beach as well with him. On the other side, we have the Canadian Open medalist in Aldo Dominguez II. He's also an AAU national team member, and he's the Costa Rica Open gold medalist currently, so that's impressive. He does do some other combative sports, which is boxing and wrestling, so he's got a combative sport background. So it sure should serve him well here in the quarterfinals of our U.S. Taekwondo National Center of Excellence Grand Slam. And that's presented by what? Sight and Sounds Technology. We have a little bit of issue here with the equipment, so we're going to do maybe take a little quick timeout. Come right back with you with this quarterfinal match. I'm Jason Pooser, chopping it up. Sherman and I are with you all weekend long. Look, so excited to be here, so excited to be with you. Let us know what you think, and we'll be right back momentarily with this second quarterfinal match. Yeah, just a tad bit of issues, something to do with the electronic chest protectors. They're going to make sure that they're working properly so that we don't have, an unfair advantage for one player or the other here.
Oh boy, did we have our fair share of issues at the cadet?
A little bit of issues from what I got to see a little bit. I wasn't able to attend, and unfortunately there were some issues and
Yep. But they're working it out. Hopefully we will get it resolved quickly and we're able to keep it rolling.
looks like this looks like they got it working now, so that's exciting to see. They're going to retest it one more time just to make sure it's working properly. That's back to action here momentarily with Aldo Dominguez II. He's in the blue. Nicholas Carlo is in the red.
right, and so we're back.
Yeah, right to action here. 1-0 already right off the bat for Aldo Dominguez. So he scores a punch early on. Inside roundhouse, both guys willing to trade inside roundhouse kick, Sherman.
They're looking to establish that inside game, and that's probably going to be necessary for Mr. Dominguez because he seems to be a little shorter than Nicholas Carlo.
Sure. Oh, nice try.
Nice, and he got it.
Yeah, he brought it up, and we said try because we couldn't have a good angle whether he hit it. But what he just grazes the chin and scores the front leg, gets kind of hung up, flips the leg over, and scores right to the chin of Nicholas Carlo. So Aldo Dominguez now will take a 4-0 lead.
Halfway through this first round, we'll kind of revisit the scoring at the in the in-between rounds. Actually, no, we'll give a little feedback on Mr. Carlo and who he is and give you a little background information on him. And then during the match, I'll talk to you a little bit more about the scoring and how to get points, how to cause it. Oh, he scores it again. Lifts that leg, he chambers it, gets it hung up on the exchange, and then flips it up over to the head. So he has a 5-point lead. He has 2 deductions from falling. He has a deduction, rather, from falling. And that's why Mr. Carlo has 2 points. When you commit an infraction, your opponent receives a point.
Yeah, and I've been really impressed so far with Aldo Dominguez. And something about it is his front legs flipping over on it. How he does it so slyly. We can do it. We talked about Carlo before. You know, he would place 3rd at the 2019 National Championships, and that's not an easy feat to do because our nationals have become so big. Of course, he's a 3rd-degree black belt, as I discussed before, and he's been competing since the age of 6.
Scoring. How do you score? I'm glad you asked. You can score with You can score 1 point with a punch to the chest protector. You can score 2 points with a kick to the chest protector. You can score 3 points with a kick to the headgear. You can score 4 points for a spinning or turning kick to the body, and 5 points for a spinning or turning kick to the head. And so you can score a maximum of 5 points. And so there are a lot of ways. Mr. Carlo turned right there, wanted to get 4 or 5. Mr. Dominguez is playing that inside game. He's working that left leg to the inside, engages with his right, and then tries to kick with that left leg on the inside. Referee broke them.
Nice shot there.
Yeah,
nice
he's got his hands moving.
Yeah, they're rolling.
Keep them hands live. All right, we have under 10 seconds. It's a 6-point lead, so Nicholas Carlo reminds me of a young Jonathan Healy.
Yeah, he does.
You remember when Healy was like a junior, his first couple years of juniors, where he was big and he had to learn how to play the game as a big fighter. And Mr. Carlo is a bigger guy, but he's content to play an inside pocket kicking game, and that's probably not to his advantage.
Yeah, it's interesting. On the other side, probably the difference in this match so far, Sherman, is Aldo Dominguez's ability to get hung up with the right leg in front. They kind of get in that clash or that cancel mode, and he can he has enough wherewithal, and he definitely has enough strength and flexibility to flip it over, and that's been the difference in this game to this point. They've been pretty even matched other than that. He's been able to hit that a couple times, where in this case, there it is again. He just doesn't see it coming, the right leg coming over that left shoulder, that blind shoulder, and those are scoring. But you're right. Boy, he has a lot of the same mannerisms even of a young Jonathan Healy. Just a minute left. He's down by 6 points. He's going to have to start taking some chances.
I was just about to say he's going to have to risk a little. That risk and reward ratio is pretty pat. You risk a lot, the reward can be great. But we've talked about this at every event. But this altitude can be a factor, as well as the nerves and the anxiety of fighting at a premier event like this.
No, you're exactly right. Both of us as players that have came through the sport and spent enough time here as competing.
As athletes and coaches.
Yeah, and then turn around and being a coach here for decades. What does show out to me is the initial match for the altitude gets you, and then you get comfortable with it, and then it can rear its head again late in the tournament because of the fatigue.
So there's that lull in the middle that makes you think, oh, I'm good.
Right.
And then you get to the semifinals, and then it's back. It's on your back.
Yeah, I felt that first fight. I felt so winded, and my goodness, this altitude's killing me. Second, third, even times fourth. You were fine, and then those fifth and sixth fights, if you had that many.
Yeah, well, see, you fought featherweight. You all had 6 fights.
Yeah,
I fought middleweight. We had 4 fights, which was still enough.
Right. Yeah, you just feel it, and so I understand what these guys are going through. Yeah. We can I guess sympathize with them if you will. Sure. The fact that we know how they feel, especially this. Now we're kind of late in the third round, so it looks like we're looking at a challenge here.
And it was upheld.
Yeah, and the challenge is won, so we'll kind of see what this is going to shake out, if it was a deduction, and what it was for.
The Gamjung for going out of bounds. Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, went out of bounds right by the coach. The coach had the best view of anybody there.
40 seconds, under 40 seconds.
Oh, and the head kick comes up. Oh, unfortunate for Nicholas Carlo.
A little too much leg.
Yes.
So he got his calf on his shoulder.
Yeah, we always said
he calved him.
He calved him, right?
He calved him.
Oh, nice front leg. There it is.
And there's the double. Yep. It's the secondary. And he's willing to take that Gamjung penalty for those because it's still a 2-1. I gave up 1, but I still am +2.
Yeah, he's in control now with an 8-point lead, Sherm. When you're fighting someone bigger like that, it's pretty interesting because they're always looking down. For whatever reason, they seem to not see those head kicks as well. On the other side, they have obviously it's an easier chance for them to get their leg high and hit you in the head. But in this case, he finally gets one. So this is not over. 12 seconds sounds like this guy's got a 4-point lead. But
yeah, but he can make up that kick right there could have.
Right.
But he's got to do that again.
Just under 5 seconds. Here we go. The spin probably unnecessary there, but I don't hate it. That's the guy that needs to be spinning at this point, and he's going to come away with the win. So congratulations to both fighters. Aldo Dominguez moving on to the semifinals, where he will take on Brian Choi
from
New
Jersey. Forget about it.
On the other side, congratulations on a great tournament. Nicholas Carlo did a great job today. He just got behind early, and he just wasn't able to recognize the front leg, what Sherman said, kind of where he'd pump his leg, where he'd kind of get hung up and then leave it up there and just flip it right up to the face. Good highlights here. So we have players in the set. There it is. There's that double where he just has the leg up. He's able to keep it.
Yep.
Shows the good leg control and definitely shows the flexibility to hit the taller fighter. Aldo Dominguez is a good player. He's got a lot in the repertoire, and he's going to go far here in this sport.
All right. Our next match in men's plus 78 is our first semifinal of the day. In blue, from the great state of California, Brian Lee. And in red, from New York, Felix Hernandez.
And the players have entered the arena. You heard that Brian Lee, Felix Hernandez coming to you. Brian Lee is from California. Felix Hernandez from New York. This is the semifinals. This is the plus 78 kilogram category. I'm Jason Poos alongside Sherman Nelson. We're chopping it up with you all weekend long here at the National Center of Excellence for the Junior Grand Slam presented by Sight and Sound Technology. Got to see Felix Hernandez earlier, and he pulled out kind of a sneaky last-second win. He was down pretty much almost all 3 rounds of the entire time. In the last 20 seconds, he scored a couple of nice shots to kind of overtake the other player, and finds himself now in the semifinals against the #1 seed, Brian Lee.
All right. So we had a little art happen, as in Van Delay. So we're hopefully gonna get to some.
That was so bad. It was good.
Art Vandelay. He's my importer-exporter. He's my textile salesman.
Oh, goodness.
See what happens when we're back together?
Oh,
It
goodness.
just gets bad. It's bad. And this is day one. We're starting. All right, Brian Lee is our number 1 seed.
Yeah, Brian Lee in the blue, Felix Hernandez in the red. Brian Lee coached by Dennis Kim, so Dennis Kim's at the helm here today. On the other side, it's Fabricio Rodriguez for Felix Hernandez. 3-0 Brian Lee. He's already started with a nice head kick, so he's taking himself a 3-0 lead right off the bat. Oh, great punch. And interesting, both guys punched. I thought Brian Lee scored, and then actually it went on the other side. But both guys did punch, so I see where they could come up with that point. I thought at least both of them should get it. Very impressed with Brian Lee, his ability to do everything at a high level. Know him well. We've both seen him on junior teams. So
Yes, we
we're
have.
very familiar with him.
We have watched him go through the. He's exactly who I was talking about today, in our pre-show. He's a kid that we've watched from a youth through cadets to now being a junior champion.
Yeah, when you said matriculated through the process of USA Taekwondo in the pipeline,
he's been here for it all.
that guy would be one that you'd point right to there. That's a great example. Just 30 seconds left. Brian Lee with a 3-1 lead over Felix Hernandez. Brian Lee his age is 16 plus. I like that.
Yeah. Well, you know, he likes to not limit himself. He doesn't want to be boxed in. He's not going to be boxed in. I like it.
Two 16-year-olds competing here at our Junior Grand Slam.
Kind of tested to see if I could go off the line with the roundhouse kick, and I almost ate a back kick for it.
Yeah, I like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I like
the turn.
Me too.
Oh man, I love the turn.
Yeah, and it was well timed. What it wasn't deep enough, and it's part of the wasn't him. It was part of it that, like you said, Brian Lee didn't go deep enough. Brian Lee in the blue, he's 6'2", he's 96 kilograms, and he's from Sparta Taekwondo. Like I said earlier, coached by Dennis Kim. He's 16 plus, and his hometown is San Ramon, California. He currently attends high school at Doherty Valley High, where he's a junior, and his favorite food is Mod's Pizza. They have that here, so he can go find that. I actually saw that.
Mod's Pizza.
Mod's Pizza, right.
All right.
He's the 2019 USA Taekwondo National Junior Team member. He got gold at the 2019 Pan American Junior Championships in Portland as well. He's a 5-time USAT national champion and a 2-time All-American, so he's got a ton. I could go on and on, Sherman.
He's done a couple things.
Yeah.
He's done a couple things. He's done more at 16 than I did in 16 years of fighting.
Beautiful job there. Yes. No, look, he brought his cut up, his right leg cut. He hung it. He kind of kept it out there nice and long. As soon as he closed the distance, he kicked in tight with his left leg, scored beautifully to the Hogu. The turn there has been good. You liked it there?
Yeah.
He's just a little off with it
I
right
like that turn. I don't think he's measuring that space right, though.
Right.
He's got to get a little more extension, put his body forward a little bit, make his body and leg a little more horizontal. And I think he'll get that leg out. He's aiming for those bottom dots. The silver. I tell our guys, aim for those silver dots. You get that kick right above where that belt is hanging, and you will score it.
Yeah, good try there inside with kind of a semi-double kick, if you will, from Brian Lee. Brian Lee you can tell he's really comfortable out there in the ring. He's got a nice ring generalship. He's comfortable. There's the turn again.
He's veteran.
But Brian Lee's scoring now. As he's trying those back kicks, the problem with those back kicks is it's really hard to cover. And so if you don't score it and knock them off their line, then they're going to score some what I call easy roundhouse kick points because you're not covered.
Right.
And that's clearly the case here as he takes an 8-1 lead.
And not only is it difficult to cover, it takes time to recover.
Absolutely.
To get yourself back in position. And so I'll let you turn if I know I can defend it because I know there's an easy opportunity waiting on me on the other end. And yes, Omar, he is a big old boy.
Yeah, he did it again. And the same thing happened to make it to 10-1. So he's found the range with the back leg. And what he's also found, it looks like he's kind of found maybe a little tell from Hernandez that he can tell when he's going to back kick, or he's been able just to kind of roll out of it, if you will, move to the side. And so the back kick's not connecting with enough force to score, but yet his back leg roundhouse kick is connecting, and he's got himself a 10-1 lead.
Yep. Felix, I want you to know that United Taekwondo, they're rooting for you. They're cheering for you. They're online giving you, so I'm sending you the vibes from here.
Yeah, United Taekwondo is his school. He's from Sunset Park, Brooklyn, and he attends Aspirations High School there. He loves Hispanic food, and it says his first year doing sanctioned tournament. So
Oh, wow.
this guy's super new, but
Listen,
super athletic.
and that's good. That's what we want.
Right.
We want some new blood.
Yeah, and new blood that can do a lot here, and he's having himself a day right now. He's down by 9, but he's not far off of connecting
Yeah,
on these back
this
kicks.
match isn't as far away as the score indicates, because if one of those back kicks scores, we're talking 5-10, and so we've made up half that distance with just one kick. So we are just under a minute to go in this third and final round of this match. Brian is content to kind of to kick to keep Mr. Hernandez honest. So he does enough to keep him honest. He gives him the nice, easy cut, the low-tempo cut. So he goes low energy, comes back with a high-energy front leg roundhouse kick.
Yeah, I know how you really enjoy tempo changes like that, Sherman. You were kind of one of what I would call one of the best guys to do the kind of a slow-moving fat. Then all of a sudden you change the tempo of it. But Brian Lee really has it down, and what he does, he just kind of lulls you to sleep at times. But other than that, he keeps you so you're guessing all the time. Just a perfect example there with 7 seconds left. Just guessing to the body, guessing. Quick, fast reflex kick to the head. Doesn't score it, but just keeps you off balance.
Sure, and it keeps you honest. And, and this is a way that you manage your energy, because you potentially have 2 more matches, and you want to, one more match rather.
Sure.
And you want to make sure that you are fully energized going into that. Congratulations to Brian Lee. He's our first athlete to advance to the final today in the men's plus 78 division. 78 kilogram division. Our next semifinal will feature Aldo Dominguez from Florida in blue and the number 2 seed Brian Choi from New Jersey in red. We could have a Brian final.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Should be. All right, this is Sherman Nelson. I'm just elated that my Brotato chip is back in the booth with me. Somebody called us Bonnie and Clyde, so I'd like to know who's Bonnie. So I'd like that to be established. So whoever said that.
I don't think we've been out there robbing any banks anytime recently.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. But we have been robbing these mics. We've been giving y'all all the best commentary.
Look at that.
Look at what I did.
Man,
Listen.
I'm lobbing those softballs. He's hitting them out of the park. Hey, United Taekwondo, congratulations to Felix Hernandez.
Yes,
and
Felix did a good job.
To you, United Taekwondo. We appreciate you guys cheering for your player. He had a great day today, so he'll go home with some valuable ranking points, right?
Yep.
Felix Hernandez as well. So congratulations, Felix. Love having you here. I'm sure we're going to get a chance to talk to these guys later just to get to know them a little better. So we're excited to have you guys here. Take a break, Sherman. Come back on the other side with our second semifinal.
Yep.
All right, our final semifinal in the men's plus 78 kilogram division. In blue, from Florida, Aldo Dominguez. And in red, from New Jersey, Brian Choi.
And our second semifinalists have entered the arena. So we have Brian Choi. He is in the red, I apologize, and Aldo Dominguez is in the blue. We can give you a little stats while they're getting ready to go. Aldo Dominguez won his first match. He took out Joseph Dunk in a tightly contested
comeback.
Quarterfinal.
LL Cool J match. Don't call it a comeback.
But on the other side, now we have, that was Felix Hernandez. On the other side, we have Aldo Dominguez from Florida. we'll see if Brian Choi can handle the right leg that in that quarterfinal.
Right.
Kind of hangs it and then brings it over the shoulder. Interesting enough, he already starts close stance, Sherman, so he's going to see it clearer because he's standing in a close stance. So maybe that's he switched, but maybe that's a strategy by their coach to say we're not going to let that happen. Because it wasn't on this side, it was on his other side. It was right leg throwing it for Dominguez.
That's a decent punch. Apparently, I'm the only one who thought that.
You are.
Okay. Yep. I'll live with it.
Oh, nice spin there. It just doesn't throw with a lot of conviction. So
No,
it doesn't
that was one of those testing, probing. Will you let me turn? Will you let me kick? The center referee, the man in charge of the action for this match is Master Abdul Qadri. We got to sit down and have some dinner after the last Grand Slam, and he is a funny guy. And he likes sauteed vegetables too because he required them.
There's the right leg. Brian Choi comes in with a 360 roundhouse kick, tries to add the back kick to it, but Dominguez keeps his right leg up just long enough and then scores to the head. The same kind of action. He did it defensively this time that he hit it in his quarterfinal.
The exact same thing we talked about. We talked about the difficulty in recovering after a turn, and so those points are valuable, but they come at a risk. They come at a risk.
Yeah, I've been impressed so far. Brian Choi's done a good job of attacking. You know, I know he's down by 2, but I feel like he's going to find the range with some of these.
And that's what this round feels like. This feels like the tester round to determine whether or not I can, where's he going to be? How's he going to react to my check motion? So now, this second round will determine whether or not that setup was worth it.
Yes, you're right. Brian Choi, he is in, I beg your pardon, Aldo Dominguez is in the blue. He's 5'10", he's 175. We talked about him where he was from. That's Nicky Oliver coaching him. Nicky's out of Florida.
Yes.
They're from Fort Myers, Florida, and his favorite food is sushi. He goes to North Fort Myers High. I actually know where that is. I've seen that school. I've been in Fort Myers, Florida a couple times. He's a Canadian Open medalist, but interesting enough, he won the Costa Rica Open just this year. And of course, he has I talked about him earlier as his combative sport background. He really enjoys boxing and wrestling as well.
Okay, he tries to go right leg on the inside and then double it out. There's a turn.
Yeah, I haven't been as impressed with his turn in the last 3 back kicks. They don't look deep. They don't look convicted. To me, I don't think he can score that. But he has a good turn. We've seen him do it. It's just he just doesn't feel comfortable.
We are, and if we're still feeling it out, we can't still be feeling it out in round 2.
And the punch scores. And Nicky Oliver called it. I heard her call the punch. He hits the punch, and she celebrates it too. And a nice punch by Brian Choi. He doesn't receive the point, but that's good physical play by Brian Choi.
Decent. He does Mr. Dominguez does a good job of evasion, of slipping there. And there's that hanging kick. Try to force him out to get the Gamjung penalty, and the ref didn't bite.
No, he called Calio right before he stepped out. That's good refereeing by our referee there. He really understands, hey, my hand came in before anybody moved outside of the boundary. Therefore, there's no deduction for either player.
Both of them score. One scores a punch, one scores a kick.
Yeah, it's a fun match here. I'm enjoying this because both these guys are not going to change their style. Their style is what it is, and they're going to stick with it. And I enjoy that because they've got confidence it's going to work to win. And right now, I think if the difference is going to come if Aldo Dominguez can hit that little hanging front leg roundhouse kick that he's hitting.
If he hits that kick to the head, it's going to force an energy change. And then Brian Choi is going to have to engage probably a little more than he wants to.
Yeah, Brian Choi at 6'1", 89 kilograms, a good-sized fighter. He's coached by several coaches, but His father's his coach. He also has Master Andrew Park and, of course, Anthony. It looks like Devi or Div. That one is hard to tell. I apologize, folks. He's 16 years old. He's from Clifford Park High School, and that's Clifford Park, New Jersey.
Yep.
Fun. He won the Maryland, the Connecticut, and the New York State Championships this year and went to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open. He went to the semifinals of the Canadian Open, which means he got a bronze medal. And I'm going to leave him with this. He loves to sleep.
All right. So, well, thank you, Jason, for that information. I'd love for people to stop writing with their feet, maybe start writing with their hands again, so it's a little more legible. But, ambidextrousness-ism is maybe a thing. All right, so here we go. What are your thoughts on your prognostications on what's going to happen in this round? We have a minute left.
The second seed, he's the second seed, so I feel like Brian Choi's got to find a way to get that right leg over the shoulder.
Yeah.
But Al Dominguez is kind of the wild card, if you will, in this tournament so far, in this division at least. He's found a way to do the things that he does well, and he hits it on every single player to this point. With that being the case, I don't see Brian Choi, unless he makes a wholesale change here in the last 30 seconds. I don't see him being able to hit him. He's been too good with that front leg right there.
And so he's still at this level of energy and output, and there's got to be a level change.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I like the punch there because that was something a little different, and you're right. That was a tempo change, and the output was better. But he just got 20 seconds, and I don't think the regular roundhouse kick and the axe kick over the shoulder is going to hit because the back kick is not a bad idea.
Yeah, but it's not a thoroughly intended back kick.
Yeah, tighter, snappier back kick. That's going to score. That's the good idea. Now he's coming with some things that are a little different a little different spacing.
Sure, we haven't seen
height.
that.
Oh, and he got one, the inside one. He got it. So now Dominguez in a lot of trouble. He's trying to find the range quickly. He's going to, and Choi does exactly what he has to do. And that's it, Sherman. That's a stolen match.
That's a stolen match. That's your Bond. That's your Clyde.
Yes.
That's your Clyde. He's not robbing bank. He's robbing matches. And I like it. And so it sets up the Brian and Brian final. Number 1 versus number 2 seed.
Sherman, it's interesting because you said, what does he need to do? Output had to be different. That output in that last 15 seconds was so busy, so active. He just found ways to get to where he needed to go.
I believe we have a homeless waif at the window. Not really sure what's going on here. All right, so listen, we're going to try to go and catch a quick interview. We have some other Taekwondo celebs in the building, so we're going to try to set up a quick interview.
You don't have to interview me. It's okay.
Okay, well then we'll scratch it. Then we'll just take a potty break.
Because
How about that?
Because I know I'm a Taekwondo celebrity.
Well, as it's either you or go to the potty. So, it's pretty much kind of 6 on one hand, half a dozen on another. Listen, this is Jason and Sherman, and we're at the Junior Grand Slam brought to you by Sight and Sound Technologies, and we are chopping it up.
All right, so we are reached the end of session 1. We have 2 final matches. We are going to get away from the men's 78 and do the women's minus 42 kilogram final, and then we'll come back and do the male 78 plus kilogram final. Is that all right with y'all? All right. That's all right with 2 people. Okay. All right, so let's get ready to call forward our finalists for the female under 42 kilogram division. In blue, from Texas, Delaney Campbell. And in red, from Nevada, Sanaya Carrillo.
And our first finalists have entered the arena. In the blue, you heard it, we have Delaney Campbell out of Texas. In the red, we have Sanaya Carrillo. She's out of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the under 42 kilogram division, so just the opposite of what you were watching before. Probably some of the smaller players we're going to have throughout the whole weekend. Looking at these players, we're going to give you a little bit of stats. We're going to give you a little bit of their history in between rounds. But right now, let's get right to action. This is our first final in the Junior Grand Slam here at the U.S. Taekwondo National Center of Excellence. This is the Junior Grand Slam, and it is presented by Sight and Sound Technology. First round action. Again, Campbell in the blue, Carrillo in the red. Oh, beautiful inside. Almost under kick, Padachegi kick by Carrillo, and it was fast, really solid, didn't score. Delaney Campbell, good with her front leg. She's got a good flexibility. Familiar with her. She's been on our cadet teams and junior teams, so been around a long time in this sport, really coming up through our pipeline. A young player that's been here the entire time. Good punch. But as she's punching, and Delaney Campbell brings her left leg, left arm up to punch. It's a nice punch, but she is leaving her body open, and the right leg comes right underneath and scores. So a little bit of too much space and a little not enough cover there, if you will, from Delaney Campbell. On the other side, I'm impressed with Sania. It looks like it's Sania is what we're saying. We've been told. She's been very, very defensive, but very explosive to this point. Good follow, nice punch, nice follow by Campbell. Does not garner any points, but that'll pay dividends here shortly if she can continue. Oh, nice inside. Again, good covering right now by Carrillo. And there's the follow by Campbell. Points coming up left and right here. Went from 2-0 to 2-2 to 5-6. So both of them scored body shots and looks like head shots as well. Yeah, Delaney Campbell is 4'11", 92 pounds. She's from Cheng Li's Taekwondo, coached by Dong Li, one of our former national team members and players that's been around, and obviously national team coaches that's been around forever. She's 15 years old, from Dallas, Texas, and attends Lakeview Continental High School. It's Lakeview Centennial High School, I beg your pardon. And she's in the 10th grade. As we're back to action in her second round, Delaney's the U.S. Open's bronze medalist this year. She won the gold at the USATKD National, so she's our current national champion. And she won the best of camp at the California Talent ID camp. I love that. Look at the action going here as we're having all kinds of points being going up. Delaney Campbell takes a 9-7 lead over Sania Carrillo. Yeah, Carrillo been good with the right hand punch, good with the right hand follow. Doesn't get it there, but been close. She scored it several times now, so. Center referee is Mrs. Tarani. She's from California. She's an international ref, and I know this because I travel around coaching all over the world, and she's about at every single event I'm there. So one of the, probably the most experienced refs this year that I've seen. I've seen her at least 6, 7 events all over the world. So we have really high-level refereeing here, as you'd expect here at our Grand Slam event. And another score, so a nice little roundhouse kick again. Delaney Campbell has extended her lead to 11-7 now, all with kind of body shots now, kind of lulling Carrillo to sleep, and then gets her, finds ways to score on the Hogu when she's just not quite ready. Carrillo, she's in the red. She's 5 foot 92 pounds, and her Taekwondo school is KJ Taekwondo. Coach John Kinyanju. I hope I didn't pronounce that horribly. I apologize, John. He's from Las Vegas. She attends Shadow Ridge High School in the 10th grade, where she's a 2-time national team member. And that's the AAU national team member at the cadet level, though. She's a 2-time gold medalist at the President's Cup, again, cadet. So she's literally just moving into juniors. And she won gold German Open at the cadet. So she's had herself a really solid cadet career. This is the junior Grand Slam, so we'll see what she can do here. This is the final, so she has a chance to come away, be our first finalist or first winner, if you will, of the junior Grand Slam ever, because that's our first junior Grand Slam. She loves to hang out with her friends and family, and we love that too. Oh, nice back leg roundhouse kick by Campbell. Just leans back, gets her head out of the way, and just stretches the kick. A lot of that conventional Taekwondo influence, as Dong Lee has a very fundamental program that can shows all of that. And another, so she's found the range now. Campbell's found the range, and Carrillo's in a little bit of trouble, down 10, with just 45 seconds left in the third round of this under 42 kilogram final between Delaney Campbell and Sonia Carrillo. Good punch, and does receive the point. Carrillo answers with the body roundhouse kick of herself to take it to 18-9. So more action here with just a few seconds left in this third round. Delaney Campbell holding on to this 9-point lead. Nice try by Carrillo. Doesn't get the point. She will take a deduction, but I think that's a risk that I'd be taking as well. So I think it's a solid risk that she'll take that. She'll take that every time, because if she does garner 3 points, it'll be worth it for her. Just a couple seconds left. Delaney Campbell content to play defense and will content to be our first junior Grand Slam champion. Delaney Campbell from Dallas, Texas. So congratulations, Delaney Campbell and Coach Dong Lee, on your Junior Grand Slam championship, presented by Sight and Sound Technology. So she follows up her best of camp at one of the Talent ID camps with now a Grand Slam championship. And again, just great action here as you see Delaney able to use her distance, follow with that left leg. That's where she tied up and then follow. Now we do get to see that. We got to see those highlights, and they did actually score. So that was well done, Steve. Those highlights were fantastic. We couldn't find out where those points in that first round came from. What happens, we ask, we get delivered to us perfectly on screen for you as well. So congratulations to first Sonia Carrillo on her second place finish here at the Grand Slam Championship. And we have our winner in the under 42 kilogram division of the Junior Grand Slam. Who is it? It's Delaney Campbell from Dallas, Texas. Go out to an interview with my main man, Sherman, with our winner, Delaney Campbell.
All right, so I'm here with the winner of women's under 42 kilogram, the Junior Grand Slam champion, Delaney Campbell. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's hear it up. Come on in a little closer. Let's hear it for the champ. So what was it like fighting with the disco lights and all of this kind of stuff?
I was pretty nervous, so I was kind of like scared. I don't know. It's just kind of scary, I guess.
Well, I see what you do when you get scared. You start kicking people. So we don't want to make you scared anymore. So going through the last like 10 or 15 seconds, when you thought you had the score where you wanted, you thought you were going to win, what was going through your head?
I was just kind of stay back, wait for her to come in. I can cancel her and just either attack her with a cut to stay safe.
All right. Sound strategy. We have done this interview thing with Delaney for a minute. We started when you were a cadet. One of those years, like 2015 or something, we went to the cadet and junior Pan Ams. And Delaney has been a fireball, and we're very proud of you. So for winning the Junior Grand Slam, you receive 160 ranking points, which is important. You get to scratch off one of the winning 3 majors, which moves you toward that dominant athlete position. You want that. You will be a member of the academy. You'll be invited to some specialized trainings with coaches Paul and Gareth. And you will get these fancy mouth guards. So they were explaining to me, they have a clear one and a branded one, that these are like $200 worth of mouth guards. And I said, my teeth not worth $200. I don't know how you have a $200 worth of mouth guard, but you get a mouth guard. And Oprah will also let you design one so that you can have your own customized mouth guard. Come on in. Anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out my mom, my sisters, Callie and Casey, my coach, Master Lee. Sifu. And my teammates back at home. Thank you, guys.
This is Coach Nelson, and I am with the champ, and I don't chop champ, so I'm going to give you some of that. Congratulations. Give it up one more time for Delaney Campbell. Yes, you're welcome. Them $1,500 worth of mouth guards, take those in the back and hide them, because somebody might steal those. All right, so we are going to get ready. Yeah, you're done. Yeah, get out. Yeah, they don't like to leave when they get out here in the circle. All right, so we're going to get ready for our next final. We got our plus 78, and we have a Brian squared final, y'all. Those are the Brian parents cheering for their Bryans. So all you got to do is cheer for Brian, and you can't go wrong. In blue, I want to get out the way because I don't want to be out there when the big jokers come out. From California, Brian Lee. And in red, from New Jersey, Brian Choi.
Our second final has entered the arena. You have the players. We have the matches for you all weekend long. Thanks for joining us here at the U.S. National Center of Excellence. This is the Junior Grand Slam presented by Sight and Sound Technologies. I'm Jason Poos. You're chopping up with Jason and Sherman and all of our fantastic athletes, staff, referees. We've got it all for you here as we have our second final in the plus 78 kilogram category. In the blue, we have Brian Lee. In the red, we have Brian Choi. I'm going to get right to it. Brian Lee is 6'2", and he's 96 kilograms from Sparta Taekwondo, coached today by Dennis Kim. He's from San Ramon, California, and he attends Doherty Valley High School, where he's a junior, and he loves mod pizza. He wanted us to get that out there. But he's a 5-time USAT national champion and a 2-time All-American. He did win nationals this year at the USAT Junior Team Nationals, and he won gold at the Pan Am Championships as well. So a decorated athlete and one that we're very familiar with here at USA Taekwondo. On the other side, Brian Choi is 6'1". He weighed in at 89 kilograms, coached by Andrew Park and Coach Anthony on the other side. He's from Youngin Taekwondo, from Cliffside Park. We can't tell if it's New York or New Jersey, so we're saying New Jersey. He also attends Cliffside Park High School. He's a semifinalist from the Canadian Open this year, so he's had himself some international success. I think both these gentlemen have competed against each other regularly, so they know each other pretty well. This is the finals, plus 78 kilogram. Brian Lee with a 1-point lead over Brian Choi. Brian Lee, nice front leg. He touches it right back to the ground and brings it up and tries to sneak it through the cover of Brian Choi, but it doesn't work. But that is a nice follow from Brian Lee. Brian Choi pulled out a last-second win in his semifinals, so he's going to have to step up. And a nice left leg inside by Brian Lee to take a 3-0 lead. So he canceled with the right leg, then brought it up and used his left leg to kind of kick inside and under-kick Patachegi type kick and scores it. This pace is Brian Choi's pace. He fought this pace in his first match in the semis, whereas Brian Lee, he'll probably take it up a little bit as far as activity as he typically tends to do. Now, if he can keep a solid lead like he has, he may not have to. Nice off the line. Oh, and he scores it. Interesting. Brian Choi thought it hit his arms. He had his arms up pretty well, but he got it through the arms to the head and a 5-point kick and scores a headshot there. So now he's taking an 11-0 lead, and that's a big round for Brian Lee as he takes an 11-0 lead over Brian Choi. As we talked about Brian Lee's accomplishments, he did win the Maryland, Connecticut, and New York State all in 1 year. I told you he was a Canadian Open bronze medalist, and he was a quarterfinalist at this year's U.S. Open, so he's got some good international experience, as I talked about. On the other side, Brian Lee, from 2015 to 2017, he was a 3-time USAT National Cadet Team member. He won a gold medal at the Pan American Cadet Championships in Costa Rica, and he went to the round of 16 at the World Championships in Korea. He's up 11-0 over Brian Choi. And just nice little switch in, closes the space, uses his hands for distance, and then follows. Doesn't get the points, but close, and does get the left-hand punch. So now he's thrown both hands punching. There's the left leg inside. He scored early on, so he looks like he's going to feel real comfortable with his right leg in front, using his right leg to kind of cancel and score a little bit, and use his left leg on the other side for the following kicks. Over the shoulder with the left leg. Brian Choi doesn't receive the point, doesn't get enough contact on the headgear. So you can see a little frustration in Choi now as he's down 12-0. Oh, and just kind of stepping in now. He's going to have to be careful because he's stepping into the range of Brian Lee over and over again. And usually that can come up to the face eventually and can be painful. Lee, a very, very experienced fighter, so Choi's got to be real careful just stepping in like this. Now we're trying to figure out what he's going to card, and we'll see if we can we'll get that information for you guys quickly. Oh, he's carding to test the equipment, and I don't blame him because the head kick looked like he might have contacted it, and now he thought he maybe contacted the Hogu, and it just didn't feel like it was working. At this point at 12-0, I don't have any problem with that. I think that's a smart move on his coach's part just to make sure that the equipment is working properly. He doesn't feel like maybe this player is getting what he should be getting. Yeah, actually, going into this third round, this is a great round for both players, and it doesn't show up on the scoreboard, but Choi was so close on so many of those head kicks and a couple of body shots that the coach felt like maybe they needed to test the equipment, but Brian Lee didn't extend his lead except for 1 point, but he didn't expend any energy to do that. It was a very relaxed, very comfortable round, so I think that both guys got to feel very encouraged going in the third round as, hey, Choi, I was close. I think if I get a few of those, we can turn this thing in our favor. And on the other side, Brian Lee, if he can kind of keep that pace nice and slow and easy, kind of just extend his lead slowly, he'll come away with be our first male junior Grand Slam champion today in the plus 78 kilogram category. Choi's going to need to contact that stuff. He had good chances there. Good idea by Brian Lee. Brings the right leg up right to the face. We talked about him kind of stepping in. In this case, Lee almost made him pay. Oh, beautiful, nice try by Choi. So he's doing a good job. Like I said, he's been everywhere but the headgear. I feel like he's just missing by just inches at this point. Oh, and a right leg. We talked about it, and then it was going to come up. Brian Lee's too experienced. If you're going to step in, hands down, looking for a kick and taking big, massive movements and steps, he's going to contact your head, and he does it solidly to take a 15-0 lead. So on cruise control at this point is Brian Lee. Brian Choi is going to have to really start taking some major chances, throw some caution to the wind, if you will, and just take some chances and go out there and try to see if he can, gain some points quickly and get himself back in this match. With just 38 seconds left, he's going to take some chances like that, and that'll help if he can hit a few of those. Brian Lee definitely content to sit back and play defense with a 15-point lead. A nice try on the spin hook kick. Just a few seconds left. And another body shot. He takes it to 17-0. Brian Lee, our champion in the plus 78 kilogram junior Grand Slam here at the USA Taekwondo National Center of Excellence. Congratulations to Brian Lee. He'll win our Grand Slam championship. Another side, congratulations to Brian Choi taking second place. He'll get some solid ranking points. He had a great day today as well. Then 1 and 2 seeds kind of goes true to form, if you will, as the 1 and 2 seeds get to the finals with 1 overtaking 2. So we have ourselves our first male champion today in Brian Lee from San Ramon, California. Yeah, great highlights here. Steve, as always, is right on it with all these different great angles, What we talked about, there's a card there. He was carding the equipment, but Brian Lee just kind of just did what he does. I know that's, but he kept the main thing, and that's, his style, his distance, his timing, and he's just a better player today. So let's go out with a winner in the plus 78 kilogram category with our main man Sherman, Brian Lee from California.
Hey, this is Sherman Nelson, and I'm here with the champ, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Lee. Congratulations, man. So how does it feel to be the junior Grand Slam champion?
Feels great. All of my opponents are very challenging opponents. I appreciate them for pushing me. Also, thank you for my coaches. They also helped me train to get to this point. So thank you, everyone, for helping me get here.
Yeah, thank you. And it does take a whole village. Sure. It does take a whole village. So going through the last maybe 10 or 15 seconds, when you thought that the score was right and you had enough space, what was going through your head?
I was like, there's 5 seconds left. I could just run away.
We'll edit that part out because we don't want to encourage that kind of behavior. Oh yeah, it's live, so okay, we'll figure out something else. Listen, what is it? How do you like fighting in the National Center of Excellence, the place where, this is USA Taekwondo's headquarters. This is a specialized logo mat. We got the disco party lights. We got the theme music. What is it like?
It's an honor and a pleasure. I feel like it was a long time coming, especially for this place to come along, and training the OTC and then coming here. It's very, very nice, and it's a very good honor for many fighters to have.
Oh, man. Listen, Lee family, y'all did a good job raising him, man. He's so honorable and respectful. So, sir, you get 160 ranking points. You have accomplished winning a major event, which moves you forward. You will also be an academy member, so you'll be invited to select events, trainings out here with coaches Paul and Gareth. You also get mouthpieces, mouth guards they're really fancy. They're like super fancy. Maybe there'll be a 21st one laying around, and I'll just pick it up and go back home and guard my teeth for no reason. But you also get to go to OPRO's website and customize your own so that it says Brian Lee. But don't let it say Brian Lee. That would, you'd be kind of a Bama for that. All right, anybody you want to shout out?
Thank you to Master Wee, thank you to my parents, and thank you to Master Kim for coaching me today. And also, just thank you everyone for supporting me.
Listen, and I don't say this publicly, and I've said this to you and to your parents. I've watched you from cadet, being on the national team a number of times. You are a great young person, and you're exactly who our sport built this facility for, to get athletes who can fight, but who also are world champions in life. So, man, congratulations, man. It's an honor. It's an honor. All right, so you get to send everybody home. So that's the end of session 1. We need everybody to clear out. So if I say it, I usually say get out. But since you are so much more mannerable than I am, we'll let you send them out.
Thank you everyone for being here, and have a good lunch break.
Oh, wow, he told y'all to go eat. I like it. Thank you all for coming out. That ends session 1. We have to clear the space, and we'll be back for session 2. Good night. Oh, good afternoon, rather, and God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Good job, boy.